This is not a canvas. This is a little. It's one of my sketch pads. I'm a terrible sketcher. But I want to. Last year, when I was at the art show, someone bought a painting from me. And they asked me to paint them 2 more of the same thing. I said, well, you know, they don't really, they can never be exactly the same thing because they're paintings. And they said, oh, that's okay, as long as, you know, they were close. And so at the time, I didn't ask them to pay me, since I was at the art show anyway. So I told them I'd have them ready in about a week, maybe 2 weeks, because they had to dry. And so it was about 10 days. We took them to where they were supposed to be. Make a long story short, the person never came back for the paintings and they never paid for them. And I decided then I was never going to do commissions again. I was going to paint what I wanted to paint, and if people wanted to buy them, that's fine. But I wasn't gonna paint something that somebody else wanted. So anyway, I said I was never gonna paint commission anymore. And then I got a call early this week from somebody pretty close to me. They asked me to do a commission, 4 commissions for them. And and they actually thought I was going to turn them down, but I didn't. So today I'm going. Can you guys hear me okay? Nod your head. No, I can't. That won't work. Just not. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Maybe if I put the microphone up a little closer to you, that would be helpful. All right. Nods. Okay. That's all I needed to know. So anyway, I told this person, I hope I haven't bitten off more than I can chew. I told them that I would take a shot at these things that they wanted painted. So I'm going to try one of those this afternoon. I've been thinking about this particular painting for a little bit this week. I've actually sent some sketches down. We had some exchange back and forth a little bit about that. And so, hello, Anthony Gray, my good friend Anthony. Dude, I'm so proud of you for going to that Wilson Bickford thing. That's awesome. All right, so anyway, so this morning I was kind of thinking about what I was going to paint for this. It's actually going to end up being an illustration in a book, probably. So this was like my gigantic, wonderful sketch that I did here. So this is on my little sketchbook. I carry this around all the time. I found out, you know, I write books, and so I found out a long time ago that in writing books that it was nice to carry a sketch pad around and take down notes and things. So it's kind of what I've been doing since I started painting too. So I'm going to use this sketch pad to kind of transfer this up a little larger, and then I'm going to put this on 11x14, and we'll see how it comes out. And then after it's done, we'll see if the person even likes the darn thing. Alright, so it really shouldn't be all that difficult, but I think it's kind of going to be. We'll find out. It's really just a small shed out in the woods. For the longest time, I struggled with perspective until Anthony helped me out with a painting that I was doing for my mom. He helped me get the perspective right on that. So hopefully we'll get something going here with this thing. We'll have to work on the color scheme and stuff. It's going to be supposed to be like this an aluminum shed. It's not really a barn. think that's, yeah, that might work. So this part of the landscape's kind of going to go like that. Maybe we'll have a background hill like this. Maybe one extra one like over this way a little bit. So I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to charcoal some of this a little bit. And, a little larger than that. Hey, Cheryl Lee. How are you doing? My sister used to paint a long time ago. So I'm going to kind of put some trees in here. We'll have these mountains back here. Some of these trees will break up. And then maybe some trees. And this thing kind of have like it down here. Some bushes. Like that. So maybe some bushes around here. I'll put a tree or two on this side. Kind of block it in a little bit. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking. Hey, Rosemary. Right, so that's kind of my thoughts about that. So it's unusual for me to compose something before I do it. It's not my modus operandi. All right, so let's get. Let me clean this knife off. I was transferring the old paint that I had from my last painting over onto my palette. So let's just clean this off. Hey, Dorothy. And let's put some liquid white down on this. Get busy here. Sometimes I think I'm overthinking this a little bit. So it's going to be a series of 4 paintings. Not today. But this commission is. We'll see how the first one goes. See if I might want to do the rest. I'm going to put some liquid white on here as soon as I get to paint on my fingers. Alright. Let me kind of stir this up a little bit. I use it pretty often, so it doesn't get much of a chance to settle. Alright. So Anthony, since you got back, you've been a painting madman. You've been like painting every day, dude. That's awesome. So I'm just going to put some liquid white on here. Is that enough light? Can you guys see okay? I've got one set of lights turned off, but I can turn them on. See if that helps. If it's too dark, y'all let me know. I'll look over the comments here in a second. I'm just gonna put this magic white on here, or liquid white. One or the other. One or the other. Doesn't really matter. It's all the same stuff. Oh, you know, the person that doing this for didn't tell me if it was a winter day, a summer day. Well, that's okay. What time of day it was? I'll just assume it was in the afternoon. In the summertime, maybe. A little light blue sky up there. Alright. So, you see he's got a pretty good fingerprint stamp there without clogging me up too much, so that's pretty good. It's just about the right amount. Really funny, I'll tell you a funny story. When I went to the first time I went to Bob Ross class, we got around to doing the liquid white part. The lady said, "Now don't worry about this. There's no wrong way to do that. Just do it like this." And so I sat right up front of class, right where she could see me. I started putting liquid. I was just like glomming the liquid white on. She's like, "No, that's the wrong way to do it." I said, "I thought you said there wasn't no wrong way to do it." She's like, "No, that'll make your painting so slick. Your painting will just slide right down the canvas." So that was my first learning experience. Hey, Chris. The lightning is fine. Lighting's fine? Okay. I thought you said lightning at first. Good, good, good. That's good. Alright. So we got good sound, good lighting, so let's get on with this picture. I think today we will start with a little bit of phthalo blue. Pick some up here. Yeah, little phthalo blue up in the sky. We're not going to get too rambunctious about this. Too rambunctious about this building. I don't want to overthink it too much. And I don't have a lot of sky in this picture. Just a little bit. There's no water in this picture, which is kind of unusual for me. I'm just kind of blending this out now. A little motion in the sky. I'm just going to darken these corners just a little bit. Let's kind of create a caveat like. So this person that I'm doing these paintings for actually took some of my paintings on Facebook and printed them in black and white. They were pretty amazed at how much shadowing actually goes into a painting like this. Hey, Marilyn. All right, that'll do. That'll do. I think I'm just going to put a couple little streamers in the sky. I don't think I want any big puffy clouds taken away from this too much. It's 11 by 14. The canvas is 11 by 14. Usually I work on same size canvases. My favorite canvases are 12 by 16s and 16 by 20s. I've done some 18 by 24s and I've done some 8 by 10s. And 8 by 10s are a little too small. 18 by 24s, which is what this is. I don't know. I just like 16 by 20s and 12 by 16s. They seem to they speak to me a little better than some of the others. So let's get a little bit of titanium white out here. For those of you that are new, these are oils. It's all oils. Put a little bit of titanium white out for right now. I'll probably sure need some more before it's over, but all right. So I just want to put a few streamers out here, maybe a few little fluffy things. I don't really want the clouds to be the center of focus here. Maybe just a couple of little doodads floating out around. Just floating around out there. There we go. Yeah, like that. Just clean my brush off, and then we'll blend those back and just push them back in. Push them back. Hi, Joyce. Did that answer your question? The canvas prep has got it's an economy canvas, yeah, economy canvas. It's got whatever preparation they put on it, and then it's got 2 coats of gesso. I make my own gesso, and got 2 coats of that. Light sanding over the top of that. Oh man, I picked up a brush stroke right there. Brush that out. There we go. Alright. I think I'll just stick with this fan brush for right now. Let me mix up a little bit of a color to go in the background. Now this is, I'm going to assume, which might be bad assuming, but I'm going to assume that this is like in Kentucky. The story is placed in Kentucky. It may or not be, but so I'll just kind of put some Kentucky-fied little hills back there. Yep, I make my own gesso. I always have. Yeah, I have probably about 20 I probably have about 30 16 by 20s sitting off on the side here waiting to be painted, and then I've got, I don't know, a dozen 12 by 16s, and probably, oh, maybe 2 dozen 12 by 16s, and 18 or 19, 18 or 19 11 by 14s. I'm never sure exactly what I want to start with, so I just kind of... Alright, so I'm just picking up some of this sap green I had from the last painting I did a couple days ago. Just kind of mixing those together. There's a little more green than that, I think. And let's add some titanium white to it so it's kind of light colored. I'm looking to make a light, kind of a light blended color. So this is kind of... Can you guys see all the different colors in there? So we're going to push that up onto the brush. Just kind of, let me see, where did that sketch go? Okay. So we kind of had like some distant hillsides here. Off in the distance like that. So you see that brown, it was kind of, I put some dark sienna in there. That kind of helps add some shadows to this as you're putting it across the canvas here. And then that blue, a little bit of blue in there with that green is not hurting it at all either. Voila. Voila. We have a distant mountain range. Let me clean this knife off. Oh yeah, yeah, you're right, Sonny. I do. Joyce, if you look in my video library, you'll see that there's a tutorial about how to make that, how to make gesso, and how to make your own liquid clear. Just in case you want to make your own liquid clear. All right. So now let's see. According to this, I want to have another, what I drew up on my little sketch there, a little bit more of a closer mountain range. So we're just going to take the same color, make it a little bit darker. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, that looks okay. A little more steep right there. So that gives us a little bit of a closer thing to deal with now. So let's put in some, let's get some, a little bit newer sap green. And I think I maybe need some color. I need some darker color into that. I want to lay some color down. That's a little too dark. Tell you what, let's take the same color we mixed up before. Let's add a bunch of brown and a bunch of green to it and darken it down. And let's put some, we want to have like a little bit of a field, and we'll start to put some landscape in here. You know, that's a good idea. Let's put a little bit of, let's take like right along here. We can add some trees back here along this mountain range, or these little hills. let's just lay some color out here. I'll tell you what, let's do, let me do that too much. So just look at a different brush here. I'm just going to soften this right here. Just a little bit. I think I'll do the same thing right here. I'm just going right back over that paint that I just put down. So, alright, now let's step this in a little bit. Now, as I'm pushing the brush, let me get another brush here and show you. So as I'm loading the brush, I'm actually tapping it like this and pushing forward. And it creates a ridge across the top of the brush, which allows it to kind of lay this angle down. I'm gonna get too rambunctious here, but maybe a little bit more here. All right. So let's do our tree thing. Let's mix up a tree color. So I'm using, what am I using? Van Dyke Brown, Sap Green, maybe a little Midnight Black, maybe. Let's just, I was going to mix it on the brush, but I think we'll mix it in this, we'll add it to this pile we've got over here. There we go. Take a little bit of white on the side just to see what color I got. I think it needs a little more green than that. So let's just add a little bit. Right. So I want to put some smaller trees in first in the background. So I've loaded up this fan. This is the number 3 fan brush. You can see how loaded it is here. It's loaded with paint. So I'm just going to put a couple of trees. Let's see, we don't want to put them too close to the edge, so let's put like, say ones are going to be right there. Maybe one a little bit taller. Don't need too much detail on these trees because they're way back there. Way back there. We'll push them back a little further in a minute. Let's go up above that. A little bit. And I want to highlight that area that I just put in before I start shoving some more trees in there. So hang on a second. Hey Noreen, Chris, and Carlo. So we're just going to put some cad yellow on the palette and some yellow ochre on the palette. We're going to highlight this a little bit, and then we're going to think a little bit about this. I don't want a lot of color in here, because this stuff is still sitting pretty far back, but I do want some color in here. We're not going to cover up all that dark, because we want that dark in there as well. So, all right, now let's take a moment and clean the brush. Hey Joyce. Alright, so let's start thinking about, while we're cleaning the brushes out, let's think about this house. Oh no, it's not a house, it's a shed. Two more brushes. We'll get on with this. I'm just using rose paint thinner. Clean these brushes. Wipe them out with a paper towel. Unlike Bob, I don't smack my brushes all over the palette, or my wife would cut my throat. as kind as she is to me. All right, so let's see. Let's just take some. I don't really want to use that color. Let's just kind of lay this house out. Let's just lay this shed out. So, there's the backstory here is there's a kid out in the woods, and he's out exploring, and he comes upon this shed out in the woods. And so he's kind of, it's all about what he finds in there, but that's what the story's really about. So I'm just kind of stretching this in here. I could have painted this on, I guess, with a paintbrush. So that just kind of lays it in here, give me an idea of how it's going to be. Alright, so now we'll set about painting that in a minute. I'm just taking off any excess paint here that I have. Maybe it could be a little bit longer than that. Maybe like, let's let that look like, I think it should be a little longer like that. Yeah. Alright. Now, the interesting part about this shed. Hey, Randy. Randy, you've been posting some good looking recipes. Alright. So that's kind of got this idea. And then we're going to have like some trees in front and back of this. So let's just go ahead and put a couple in here. It's really supposed to be kind of sitting in the woodlands a little bit. So let's just kind of put some trees in here. When you're painting trees, I did a video, so those of you that are new, I did a video recently where I talked about, I actually showed how to make all these different kinds of trees. You know, some of the branches are going down, some of the branches are coming up. You know, just, tell you what, let's save this one for like a leafy kind of tree, maybe a little bit. Let's put another tree right here. Alright, that'll work. Alright. So, yeah, the backstory is all about this kid. and what he finds in this shed. So it's a really good book. What part that I've read so far. So I have a guy that does my book covers, and he's always helped me get those things done on time. So it was hard for me, even though I said I wasn't going to do any more commissions. It would have been kind of bad for me to turn this guy down. So, all right. So let's see. So kind of need to come like right here. This part here is going to be. Alright, so we'll do something with that. We'll just kind of brush the color in here. Kind of lay it out for right now. Alright, so let's go ahead and put the rest of this landscape in around this. And then we'll work on putting some more trees in and some more land. But let's just kind of, let's get some cassette green, maybe yellow. Well, need some dark color. Need some dark color. So as it's coming closer to me, I'm getting it a little darker and a little bit darker. Alright, and this part here will darken it in some more a bit. Alright, now let's make that a little more like that. And this color needs to be, need a little more color in there. Cover that. Alright, now. So, let's work on this house. Well, with a house, it's not a house, but... And I think to do that, I've been kind of considering that all week long, and I think I'm going to use Payne's Gray, maybe to do that. There's no real call of the color in the book. It's just that it's like a metal building of some kind, so... You know, I have a lot of different kind of fan brushes, Kathy. The one that I was just using, this one here, that I use a lot, is a number 3 Bob Ross fan brush. I also use these I get on Amazon. What are they called? Zem. These are really good fan brushes too. They're shorter handle, but they're pretty good. And then my wife, on the last video, I used these brushes a lot, and these are called AENAGIC, Anagic. And these are good fan brushes too. I like these. What was I doing? Oh yeah. Okay, I was gonna mix up that color. I was like, why am I holding a fan brush? ADD in action. My ADD in action. What's good for me at work sometimes, and bad for me at other times. All right. So let's take this Payne's Gray and put a little bit of Payne's Gray. Now, if you've not used Payne's Gray before, this is what it looks like coming out of the tube. So you can see it's really dark. And but if you can see it on my palette, I have to get some more white out here. It's actually kind of if you lighten it up just a little bit, you can see that it's really kind of blue. So it's kind of a bluish gray. All right, so we're going to keep this fairly light color. I've got the dark color under it to create the. I wonder if I should just paint that with a brush. Well, we're going to start off with a knife and decide if I want to do it that way or not. So let's just kind of. It's a little darker than what I wanted to start with. Paint's blending really fast on the canvas, so that would be okay for that side, but it's not exactly what I was looking for this side. Because this is going to be the lighter side. So those of you that watched me paint before, I didn't highlight those trees yet either, but we're going to do that. I'm just trying to get since this is not a paint as I go kind of a thing, kind of a painting. All right. I have to kind of, in the center is the building. In the center of interest is the building, and then I have to figure all the rest of it out, the rest of the painting around that. I've done that. I've done that once before in a painting that I did. If you look in my library, you'll see it. It's called. I think it's in my 2016 folder. I'm pretty sure. My body of work 2016 folder. And it's called. I don't know. What the heck is it called? Out Here, maybe. That's what it's called. It's got a red Chevy pickup truck in it. Let's just put a little shadow on it like that. We'll give this thing like a building equity in a second. We'll get all that line stuff straightened out in a second. So let's put a little bit of highlight here on this edge. Probably do a little lighter than that, maybe. Payne's Gray is also a very powerful color. So I mean, is the well, I can't move my head. I can't get my head out of the way, unfortunately. I have to be able to see what I'm doing on this particular thing. But I'll do my best to try to get it out of the way. Alright, so we're just going to pull that down a little bit. Then we'll come back with this Payne's Gray. And we're going to highlight some lines and darken some other lines. So let's make some of this. So a little bit darker color. I'll tell you what, let's just use darker color right off the bat. I'm going to come right along in here, put a shadow in here. So we're not really, I'm just going to insinuate some lines in here. Because it is a metal building. And on this side, we'll change those lines a little bit and we'll make them a little brighter. So let's do that. I think we can probably just do it with straight white if we let that mix with the gray. Here we go. Alright. Now, well, let's see how we're going to do this with the roof. Oh, thanks, Em. Well, I use it a lot. But usually on buildings like this, I just cheat up and use a brush. Usually. And since I started with it, I think I'll just try to finish with it. See how it goes. This roof needs to be a little bit more slanted than that, like that. Let's bring some of these metal things down here. I'm picking up little tiny bits of paint at a time for this roof. And I think over here, I'll make this just a little bit, I think it'll look better just a little bit wider, like that. I might have to go back and put the lines back on it, but I think it'll look better that way. We're going to introduce a color I don't use it very often. It's called Lamp Black, and I will caution you against its use. It is incredibly black. Nothing else you'll put on the canvas will put it to sleep. It's just too potent. It's just too potent. So now I'm going to put a door in here for this. This isn't. If the kid finds in there, it needs to fit through a great big door. And put a little bit of highlight right in here. And then let's put just a tad, little bit of dark right here. A little darker, where that corner is. All right. Now, all right. So I'm happy with that'll do. That'll do. I think. I do that too. All right. So let's start thinking about this ground some. So we can kind of bring this in because there's going to be trees around this building. There's going to be bushes up around this building. So let's just kind of put some grass in here. So I'm just putting a little bit of light color on this brush and just kind of pulling up some stuff. I think I need a little more green though. This is green. So there you go. We kind of did the catamanectomy I was telling you we were going to do. There's a lot of stuff growing up around it this way and this way. This place, this thing's all overgrown. So I'm just going to mix up a couple of different yellows here. Kind of close that in. That's why I wasn't too worried about the lines around the bottom. All right, let's slap some more trees around here. All right, made up all that color. Stand by. Gotta make up some more color here. So 3 colors: sap green, Van Dyke brown, a little bit of midnight black. You can also use another really good color mixture to use for that for trees is sap green and alizarin crimson. It makes a really nice warm brown. It's called Christmas brown. I've heard some people call it that. Put a little bit bigger tree right in here. And maybe we'll put some grass growing up over that way, off to the side there. And then let's put alright, I'm going to highlight those trees in a second because I got to come back here with another. Alright, let's just put another tree. And we're going to pull this tree over onto this hill side just to start to create that hillside. When you're creating these trees, make sure you keep your brush loaded. Can't paint without paint. Pretty hard to paint without paint. But it's something that I see. I don't teach very often, but when I do, one of the things that students really seem to struggle with for some odd reason. Alright, so let's take and put another tree. Alright, I'll tell you what, let me switch fan brushes real quick. I'm going to need to highlight these trees a little bit so I can get, so I can put another tree over the top of them. I'm just taking a little bit of linseed oil, just regular refined linseed oil. Yep, just bring that up just a little bit with a, bring that with just a little bit of lighter color. I'm going to trim that down a little bit though before I'm done, because it's a little too wide. Actually, probably what I'll do is I'll mix a little bit of gray with that. So we know our light source is coming this way, so that's the way we want to highlight these trees. I'm not going to put a lot of highlight on here because this is not really a bright day. So I'm just taking a little bit of this linseed oil and this yellow, and I'm tapping it into the paint until it stands up in little peaks. That's how you know. That's how you know that you've got it just about right. All right, so that one there. This tree needs to be a little pointier, so I'm just going to take the knife and just kind of run that little point up like that. There we go. Now we'll highlight. And I may add a third. I may add a third color to these trees before I'm done. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Not worrying about that one back there because it's too far back. So you see, we can take this right here and pull this back just a little. Makes all the difference. All right. Tell you what, let's put, this wasn't actually in their story, but let's put a little bit of a fence, an old dilapidated fence maybe. Like, let's start it right here. So we're putting a lot of paint on top of paint now, so I have to be a little careful with what we're doing here. Not just enough to make sure that it's sticking. That's all. That's all I meant by that. But you can see it's kind of mixing with the color, so we're kind of picking up the highlight along with it. And then let's let this fence be as dilapidated as anything else we see here. All right. That'll push the barn back just a little bit. It's not really a barn, but for this video, let's call it a barn. It's really just a shed, but we'll call it a barn just to make it a little happier. I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight right on the edge of these posts. And I do mean just a little bit. Alright, let's put another tree in, shall we? Tree. Let's put that tree right. Put that tree. Alright, I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's put this tree over here first. Then we'll figure out the other tree. So it's going to be a big old tree. Yes, I know. We're painting right over everything we just painted in there, but we know it's back there, right? Da, 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 da. Widen out just a little bit. There we go. All right. Okay. So let's slap up just a bit of highlight on that tree. A little bit of that. Pick up a little bit of that linseed oil. A little bit of this green. A little bit of this yellow. Let's mix some of that with this. Alright, so mixing up another color here on the side. We'll get back to you in just a second here. That's still a little bit too dark. Let's try this. There we go. So we're just adding a sort of a, it's really phthalo blue and green, so it's almost like a turquoise color. And it's a second reverse highlight. And that'll give the tree a little more dimension. All right, there we go. Now I don't know how much of that you can actually see on the video, but hopefully you get the idea of what we're doing there. We're just adding a third dimension highlight to. So you got the dark green of the tree, and you got the yellow highlight that's on it, and then you've got sort of a bluish tint highlight that goes along with it. All right, let's mix up some dark color and start some serious stuff here. Let's put some weeds in right here. Let's put some over here. Put that in front of the fence. That pushes the fence back. This pushes the grass back. It pushes the building back. All right, let's get serious and put some dark color in here, and we'll start to finish this up. So I'm just going to take some plain old night black. You might say, Benjamin, you just dabbled in your tree there, but that's okay, it's not going to matter. I'm going to put some bushes in front of it. All we're doing, oh, come back here. All we're doing is laying some color down. We need some more color though. And that'll create our contrast up here really close. I don't know if that's enough, but we'll see. It might not be enough paint. We'll see, we'll see. Oh my, I just picked up some of that lamp black. Yeah, we'll see what we can do with that. over here. Clean the brush, and you should start working on this. Now, so we got this hillside that's coming down, right? So I think to help set that off even a little bit more, what might be kind of cool is if we put in another piece of broken fence line down along that hillside. So let's do that. We'll just use a, I could do it with a fan brush, but I think I'll do it with a filbert brush. So let's start. All right, so this land right, this part right here though, I've got, I need some white. Usually I have about 5 lines of white on my palette because I use it a lot. I don't use a lot of black, but I do tend to use a lot of white. But so let's take this part right here. Just kind of make a little bit of ground there. Maybe we'll put a rock or two in there in a second. All right, now let's put the fence on. And then let's just have an end post like this. And that'll just be the path right there. Alright. So I've kind of sketched those in with, I kind of sketched that in with a filbert. We're going to go back. Thank you, Marilyn. We're going to go back and do a little more work with this with a strip liner. So let's do that. Let's do that first. So I'm just picking up a little bit of this, linseed oil. So I can darken these posts up a little bit. Because we're putting on that a lot of paint. There's like 7 layers of paint right there. And that'll help us tell that fence from the other fence a little bit more. And then we'll put some highlight in it. So this is about the same consistency as ink that we're putting on here. If you're wondering about how much, if you mix it too thick, it won't come off. It won't come off on it. It won't paint over the other paint. But if you mix it too thin, it'll run down the page. It'll run down the canvas and it'll make a big mess. I think one thing that people take a little bit, I know I did. A lot of people get hung up on making sure lines are straight. How many people do we talk to about painting and they're like, oh, I couldn't draw a straight line with a ruler? And you say, good, because we don't use any of those in oil painting. Anthony, you still there? Hot dog. That's good. That's a good day. That's a good day. All right. So I'll tell you what. Let's put a few rocks in here before we go up the hill too much. And I think we'll just do those with using this Payne's Gray that we had earlier. So let's just mix a little bit of that up. Kind of a lighter gray. Here we go. A little bit darker gray on the bottom. Let's try this. It's just kind of. It's not dark enough. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Come on. There we go. Maybe they just use these cobblestones to keep what used to be the pathable. I don't know. All right, I'm not gonna worry about those too much right now. Let's get the grass put in. All right, let's mix up some sap green. And a little bit of yellow and do our thing. So the only thing here is paying attention to the fact that you do have a hill that you're putting in, so you want to make sure that just keep your landscape going that way. Don't worry, we're going to come back and highlight this some more in a minute. Where'd it go? There it is. Maybe we'll put another tree or two in here too. If you guys don't watch Anthony's Gray channel, you're cheating yourself. Make sure you watch his channel. Emily Jean is another one who, man, those two guys, they can do things with acrylics. It's just amazing. Both of them. Different subject matters, both of them, but that's okay, right? Room for everything. Let's get a little bit of cad yellow in here, mix up with this, and we'll start finishing the highlighting, and then we will. So I'm gonna mix a little of this sap green. I think I'll leave the color in the brush that I have. So use the same dirty brush. Oh no, I won't either. That's a little too dark. All right, let's clean the brush and try it again. All right, now let's try it. You know what? I tell you what. Let's do this just for the heck of it. Let's get a little bit of cad orange in here. Maybe with this too, just for the heck of it. That's going to show up like crazy when we first start putting it down, but we'll move it around. I did there was just flip the brush over a little bit. It does two things. One, it moves the paint consistency around, but it also moves the actual colors to different parts of the brush. Just keeps you from creating too much repetition. Alright, and before we get done with that, let's put some rocks in here. So, I'm double loading the brush. It's an old trick. Double loading the brush. So on one side I've got a real dark, I've got same color actually. This side is Payne's gray with a little bit of titanium white. This side's just straight Payne's gray out of the tube. We'll come up here and put some rocks in here. And we're just kind of taking the brush and pushing it on and then turning it slightly. It's a really neat way to kind of just throw in a couple rocks here and there. Yeah, just before we start kind of finalizing the grass. We could put a bigger one in here if we wanted to, but don't want to get too regular with them. Then we'll just put a couple more down here at the bottom, just for the heck of it. Like right here in this corner. Where someday probably my name will go when I get around to actually signing it. Alright. Now let's finish up the grass. Now, in order to do that, I was using a flat brush to lay that down, but I'm going to use an oval brush. See why it's called an oval brush? To kind of finalize this a little bit. And it'll just kind of soften out the brush strokes a little bit. Merge some of that color together so that it's not quite so in your face. We're also using it to kind of push the land up against the rocks. And we kind of merge it all together there to make it nice and soft. Alright. So, let's highlight the fence, and then we'll put one or two more trees in, and we'll be done. So let's highlight the fence. What do I do with that script liner? Here's one, here's one. So I'm just mixing a little bit of this lighter color. I don't even know on the video if you guys will be able to see this or not. It's it's very subtle. I don't need to worry about that too much. Alright. So now, you might see on the video, though, you might be able to tell. Let me kind of hold this up a little bit more where you can see it. That because the fence in the background is a lighter shade, it looks farther away. And all of it's very soft. This is the way it kind of comes out. Alright, so let me wipe my hands off and put these last trees in. Thank you, Dorothy. There's no horses or cows in the story, though. It's just a little boy out wandering around in the woods. That's the thing about commissions. Don't get to paint what you want, usually. Well, I sort of have, but I don't think this fence was in there either. But, alright, let's do the trees. Oh my goodness, where are we going to put another tree? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. select this tree in here. I have another thought too. Put this in. We'll see what else we want to do. I think it might be kind of cool, since this is like an open field, let's put a couple of bushes in here, just for the heck of it. Now bushes can be a problem for some people. So loading the brush up, just absolutely full of paint, which you can see. We're going to push some bushes in here in a couple different places. I think we'll push one in like, I think I'd like one like right here in the front. Maybe a big one right here. Get them across like that. That'll continue to push stuff on back. And then maybe another one like right there, just to kind of push that fence back even farther. Yeah, all right, so let's see. What do y'all think? You're like, I think you just painted over everything you just put down there. Yeah, that's true. All right, so I'm just let's highlight these bushes a little bit. Picking up a lot of colors, a lot of dark color there, so you're picking it up. And do one bush at a time, one bush at a time. I like a little bit more. Alright. That kind of pushes the whole darn thing back. Alright, a little bit of that reverse color over in this big tree. I think we'll call it a day. Then we'll take a picture of it, send it to the guy that commissioned me, and see if he even likes it. Alright, let's see. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, it's going to highlight the tree. Alright, so we're just again, we're picking up some of this linseed oil, a little bit of linseed oil, make it nice and thick. And adding a little bit of this turquoise color into this tree here, give it just a little bit of oomph. It's not quite as, probably doesn't look as good on the video as it does in real life. Maybe we'll put another rock right there though, I think that would look good. I covered up the rocks. There's a bunch of rocks under this bush. If they ever try to dig that bush out, they're going to have a pain. Alright, wrong brush. Filbert. Alright, there we go. Alright guys, there we go. What do you think? Any questions before we sign off? We will be painting at the Jeffersontown Gaslight Festival live on September the 15th. So, for those of you who live in Elizabethtown or anywhere nearby, if you would like to come see us, we'll be there from 10 till 2, painting live. We'll have all of our paintings there, and they'll all be on sale. I don't mean for sale. I mean they will be on sale. It is a ridiculously reduced price. So, oh, I forgot to highlight the fence. That dirt. All right, hang on. Gotta put up with me a little bit longer. Need to highlight just a tad, a little bit more on that fence, I think. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. There we go. And a little bit of this. Let's just. See what I did? What the heck? Let's see what I did. That's what happens when I get talking. Alright. A lot more intricate than I originally meant for it to be, but that's it. Hey, Anthony. Thank you, buddy. Again, I can't tell you how happy I am for you. I have been, although I've missed some of the live stuff, I've got it shared, and I have watched quite a few of the videos. So, help me. You were up at 5, I was up at 4. That's exactly what I was doing, was watching one of your videos. So, it was funny this morning when I saw your post that said you were up at 5. So, anyway, I hope you guys have a good rest of the day, and we'll probably see you on Wednesday. And I think on Wednesday we'll probably give a painting away. I got one that I think I would like to let you guys have. Alright, so you guys have a good one. See ya.